So I consulted the kitty book on what video to do today, and the kitty book says, talk about my favorite romance books. Tearing it out, tearing it up, throwing it out, we're doing it. I feel like this would be a very opportune time to insert like some sort of an intro. Should I do intros? Does someone want to make me an intro? I'm gonna make myself an intro of all my awkward faces. Anyway, today I was gonna do a video about my favorite romance books. Why did I forget that so easily? I swear. Is that a pimple? No, okay. Ooh, I just saw like that right there. That was terrifying. Today, I'm gonna just talk about my favorite relationships in books. Either ones that I think were cute, ones that were developed well, ones that I like my OTPs and stuff, so let's go. The first book I'm gonna talk about is one of my favorite books. I don't have it with me because my friend's borrowing it, and you probably know which one it is if you know anything about me. It is My Babies from Shatter Me by Todd Amalfi. If you have not read Shatter Me, it is probably tying like 3 different books for my favorite book in the whole entire world. I would take a bullet for that book. I love it so much, and the romance, woo! Woo! So best romance book, Shatter Me. Sometimes it like borderlines kind of corny, and that only happens I think once, but the rest, whew, some people say it's insta-love, I say it's perfection. But moving on to books that I actually have, I have a stack of things that I loved, so let's just get talking. A book in which I love the relationships is The Host by Stephenie Meyer, and I know if you have read this, in the beginning, like, everyone hates her, and she's, like, abused and hurt, but then some relationships develop, and, my little heartstrings develop. Ian and Wanda, perfection. If you haven't read The Host, and you haven't read it because you don't like Stephenie Meyer, then you're crazy, and you need to pick it up anyway. It is a quite large book. This book is, bigger than the usual hardback, and it is also like 700, only like 500 pages. So yeah, it's a mammoth, but it's definitely worth it. I love the relationships in this. So good. The movie does not do it justice. I love you, Max Irons. I love you, Jake Abel. I love you, Saoirse Ronan, but the book was so much better. The next book that I love the relationships in, I'm gonna start calling them relationships instead of love. Because these are all young adult. I mean, let's be serious. It could be love, but we are 16-year-olds. We're not in love at 16 most of the time. The book is Every Day by David Levithan, and I think you would have to know the synopsis of this to be able to understand the relationship. It's basically very unique. This book is about a guy who, or not a guy, this is about like a being that every day they wake up in a new body. So for one day, your body might be taken over by this one person, but it's not like possession or anything. It's just this person wakes up in a new body every day, like I said. And so they live their whole life doing different things, being different people, experiencing different things, and one day he finds a girl in his little adventures, and the whole story bases around he wants to stay with her. I assume it's a guy. It could be a girl. I think that's the good thing about this, is that you can imagine them either way. So, so the plot just revolves around this person trying to stay with the girl because he or she loves the girl, and so it's always this struggle to find this girl every day in a new body, and it's so cute, and it's just really amazing. It's so creative. David Levithan is a god. I love his books, and this was just so genuine. Obviously, it would be impossible, but I just felt so many emotions. Oh, this book should have been mentioned way earlier. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yoga breathing. Don't do yoga breathing when you have a cold. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I've kind of kept this on the DL for a while, but Noah Shaw, which is the male love interest in this book, is my favorite fictional character out of any fictional character. And I know I'm like so attached to other people and I may love other people, but Noah still remains the favorite. And I think his and Mara's relationship is just... there's a level to it where it's like humanly a good relationship. They're cute, they're nice, they fit each other well, but then there's like a psychological reasoning behind it that I can't tell you because it's a spoiler. That's like, they are literally meant for each other, and it's just so perfect. I love this book. I highly recommend this book. I love it so much. The next book that I love the relationship in is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Shiny. Okay, this one is my signed copy, so it has like a library covering over it. Hazel and Augustus, man, they're so perfect for each other, and I can't really voice why I love them so much. It's kind of hard to think about just because they are like perfect human beings. So they just belong together, I feel. Like, that was meant to be from the start. It was meant to be, you've gotta admit it. I will forever love their relationship. I think it's so good. So good. And it's also like really well developed. Like, it is a bit fast put on, but it was just... John Green, you are a god. The next book that I love the relationship in is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, and this is a book that I actually read like a month or two ago, so I finished this not too long ago, and this book is, I'm not a big fan of contemporary books, and so I went into this like it's gonna be so cliche, but I really love the relationship in this book. It's so realistic. I felt like Samantha, the main character, could have been me. These people could have really existed. And though it did get a bit cliche in the end, it's a type of cliche that is still, like, not corny. So it was, like, an applicable, not necessarily predictable ending, but it was very satisfying, but kind of typical for a romance book. But I still felt it was really nice, and... Sticking on the contemporary side of things, I'm going to point out Sarah Dessen's The Truth About Forever. I'm not the biggest fan of Sarah Dessen. If you're not either, that is, we're in the same boat. But I did genuinely love this book. And I don't think I ever talk about this book that much just because I say all the time Sarah Dessen isn't that great of an author. But really, I think this book is close to a masterpiece. The character development, amazing. And although we don't get a legitimate relationship until the very end, I think their emotions were so well developed and thought out, and although it was slow a little bit and it took a while, I feel like the relationship in the end was just priceless, amazing. They lived happily ever after at the end. And the last book that I have is, oh wow, you can see it missing right there. Block that off. City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. Well, that being said, those are my favorite romance books. There are definitely more books out there that I think have cute romances, but these are my faves, just because I was like getting little warm feelings and like, and like I tumble about them on the Tumblr, and oh. So those are my favorite romance type novels, or my favorite romances within novels that maybe might not even be about romance. Most of these are pretty much romance based. Maybe The Truth About Forever is kind of like just growing or whatever. What am I talking about? Thank you for watching this video.